Last week we explored this portion of Chase County, visiting 7 ghost towns. And in this video we're going to start at Heimer and we're going to head south down to Elmdale. Our next stop is Elmdale, and it's the only incorporated town that we're going to visit in this ghost town little trip today. It is, I'm putting this category because it used to have hundreds of people. Now the population is only down to 40. We're right here on US 50, and we're right at the Elmdale Trading Post. You can see behind me. There's a couple buildings here that say that. I think this was the oldest one, and there's another one that's a little more modern, you could say. But yeah, Elmdale was a railroad town, or is a railroad town, and that's how it kind of got built up in the 1870s. And then I mentioned how flooding really was a problem for Saffordville, and the same flood in 1951 was a problem here. And they built some levees and different things to try to control that. But in 1998, another flood hit this town, and the population has just continued to dwindle. There's a lot of old abandoned buildings around Elmdale or in Elmdale. So, you know, we'll venture down through the main town. Like I said, this is right on the highway. You'll be able to see this literally as you're driving past on US 50. But the town is just a little bit down the street. Somebody has a funny sense of humor. I was just exploring around, and on Google Maps it said Lloyd Christmas's boyhood home, and the only Lloyd Christmas that I'm aware of is the Jim Carrey character on Dumb and Dumber. So it was just a little detour from where I was going, so gotta go. And I think obviously it's someone playing a joke on Google Maps. So nice house, even saw a couple dogs. So if you're ever wondering where Lloyd grew up, possibly it was Chase County, Kansas.
Hey Harry, I got some beef jerky. Some people just weren't cut out for life on the road.
I have arrived to Homestead, Kansas, and you know, behind me you can see says Homestead Friends Church. I actually saw that on the map and I thought there'd be a church here, but it's just showing where the church used to be. And there's over there by the bell, it talks about that there was a church here in 1924, and it was kind of, I think, kind of added to in the 70s, and it closed in the 90s. So I'm assuming that it was either removed or destroyed or something. I'm not sure why they would have done that. Maybe the church got moved somewhere else, but it was a monthly meeting place for a long time. Homestead was a small town. It had about 40 people. The post office lasted for almost 40 years. So there definitely was a community here. I believe there's a school and a cemetery around here somewhere. There was a sign as you were entering the township that would give Is it a mile this way, a half mile that way, or a couple miles this way? So I'm gonna drive around, see if I can find those. It's always neat to arrive somewhere and there's something that tells a little bit about the history, even though it doesn't talk about the whole town. It talks about a little bit, so it gives you some clues, and hopefully we can find some more. So we found the school. It is a half mile north of the location for the Homestead Church. There's a little information there that says that originally the school was built in 1872, 2 miles south of here. And then in this location, it was moved or rebuilt in 1885. This is obviously not the original school, but this became a community center, and certainly the location of where the school was. Though school closed about 70 years ago and consolidated with Clements, which is another town not too far from here, another ghost town not too far from here. So yeah, kind of neat to see some of the old playground equipment that's always at some of these old schools. Wonsevu, I think is how you say it. This is a true ghost town with some buildings remaining. We have a church, we have a school, a couple other buildings probably were homes at some point. But yeah, this is continue to go way out on the dirt roads. You find the hidden gems, and this had a population of probably never quite reached 100, but it was significant enough to have a post office for a few decades, and then have some businesses. The church here, it says closed up in 2003. There's a little historical summary right there by the church, and it was open for almost 100 years. It kind of opened right when the post office closed, or real close to when the post office closed. So obviously people from this community were still, involved in kind of keeping things going. So definitely a terrific little spot here, Wonsevu, Kansas. So our final ghost town, there's nothing left of the ghost town of Thurman, but there might be something interesting here. But first about the town, it was named after a William Thurman who settled here, and they actually named Thurman Creek as well. So he was obviously a popular guy. But it was a pretty it was a decent sized little town. It had a school, and it had, you know, businesses and churches, and it had a daily stage coach service to Matfield Green, which is the closest town to here. So it had a little bit of a connection with a town that was a little bit bigger, and and that lasted for a while. And in 1910, population is said to be about 30. It did have a post office for a period of time too, and then it was abandoned in the 1940s, and now there's nothing left. So when you get here to where Thurman used to be, there's a fenced off area, and on Google Maps it calls it the Walk in Peace Ranch, and it looks like some interesting, I don't know, like Stonehenge at the top of the hill, but it is locked. You know, it doesn't appears that it's private property, so I don't think I should be, although you'd think it seems inviting for a nice little walk up to the top. We'll take the drone up. We'll see if we can get close and see what's up there. I don't know what the Walk in Peace Ranch is, but man, that's pretty cool. That's, somebody put a lot of work into that. Maybe it's something that somebody's preparing for to be open to the public someday, or maybe it's just somebody's very artistic way to decorate their ranch. But peaceful is certainly a way to describe Chase County in a lot of areas. A lot of beautiful Flint Hill area and acreage, and I really enjoyed exploring Chase County. It's, like I said, the second time I've done this. I did a video before and of some other towns, and this is really getting into some of the back roads of Chase County. So hopefully you enjoyed it too. There's a lot more places that had post offices throughout the years in Chase County that no longer exist, or there's nothing that exists. So I'll place those on the screen, and you can, maybe if someone is aware of something that is left from those areas, you could put it in the comments. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until next time, safe travels. I think I'll try to slide down this one. Haha, just kidding. I'm gonna back up into my way. Okay. Well, see you later.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.